Welcome back to Bay Sunday. An annual Jewish tradition at Ocean Beach is happening later this month. It's called Tashlique, and here to tell us more about it is David Katznelson, Executive Director of Reboot, and Program Manager Tanya Schevitz. Welcome to Bay Sunday.
Thank you for having us.
Good to be here.
All right, I'm very interested in this. Tashlique, what is it all about?
Tashlique is a relatively new Jewish holiday. It's been around for about 600 years, and for us, that's like right up there. That's you know, and basically it's a holiday which kind of acknowledges the fact that once a year it happens on Rosh Hashanah, which is our new year, and the beginning of the days of awe. And once a year you go down to the beach and you take a piece of bread and you put in it all the bad stuff, all that bad vugum that you have on your back from the year, and you throw it into the ocean.
Yeah.
And watch it go. That's been generally the tradition, and it's kind of like this idea of renewal, of like letting that go, so you can kind of think about the new things to come.
Yeah, and for so many people here, it's a perfect chance to do that, to kind of renew and recharge.
Well, you know, with the times that we're in right now, I feel like these times have been a little harder for everybody to take, and these kind of moments are kind of even more necessary than ever. They seem more powerful and more self-inventive than you could in normal times.
And how many years I mean, obviously the tradition has been around for, as you said, 600 years, but here in San Francisco, how many times have you guys done it, and what's the turnout like? Who comes out? Are they mostly Ocean Beach people? Who's coming out to this?
So there have been various Tashlique rituals that have been done scattered around the Bay Area for a long time. Reboot has done it for about 10 years, and we do a very specific take on it, where the Rosh Hashanah holiday has the shofar, which is blown, which is a ram's horn, which is blown during that holiday. So what we thought is, why don't we take instruments that have kind of like that blowing power to them and bring them together and kind of make a joyful noise. And so what we have with Tashlique is we have young kids who bring their little shofars and they will blow them, and then we have two members of the San Francisco bagpipe chorus come, and these bagpipes come in with them, and then we have members of the Jazz Mafia and the Church of John Coltrane bring their saxophones, and they all come together and they like pump this amazing sound that you can really only hear that once a year, and then marching everybody down to the beach to do the ritual.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Tanya, tell me a little bit about Reboot and what this organization is doing.
So we're a national nonprofit that sort of reaffirms Jewish traditions, but helps people make their own Jewish paths. So reinventing and reinvigorating Jewish traditions for the 21st century. So Tashlique is that, and David could talk about how we sort of reinvented the name. We spell it differently and say it in sort of a slightly different way to make it a little more modern and to differentiate it from the traditional thing. And I think he talked about how you know, we have this musical celebration that's a little different than tradition, but also on the high holidays for Rosh Hashanah, you have a traditional sweet of apples and honey to make the New Year sweet. So instead of the apples and honey, we have bonfires and we roast s'mores for the traditional sweet at Tashlique, which is really fun.
Yeah. And actually, one of the things we thought about was Tashlique generally has just been about casting off the old, but why not also bring in the new and bring in a sweetness for the rest of the year? And
another thing that kind of piqued my interest, this thing about Do You 10Q. Tell me what this is all about and what you guys are trying to do with this.
10Q is a program that we've been doing for 10 years now, and it started as a brainchild of Ben Greenman, who at the time was working at the New Yorker, and Nicola Berman, who is in the health world, thinking about how do we take these 10 days and think about ourselves and reflect on ourselves, and that's what this whole holiday is about anyway. But it's for everybody. I mean, these are kind of things that this is a time to stop and just think about you know, who you are, who you want to be, what you've done the past year, what your aspirations are. And Tanya, you can tell a little bit more about it.
Well, what we found is that so many people aren't pausing, especially in today's 24/7 society. I mean, people are always just moving, so they don't take time to pause. So 10Q meets people where they are online, sends them a question a day between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. At the end of that time, your answers go into your own private digital vault, and then they're sent back to you the next year, just before Rosh Hashanah. So you have this archive of information about your life.
We're running out of time. Thank you so much for joining us here today. For more on Tashlique, you can go to rebooters.net. It is happening on September 21st at Ocean Beach from 5 to 7. And it's free and open to the public. Thank you for watching Bay Sunday, and hope to see you next week. Have a wonderful day.